What's up, everybody? What's up? We're going to start this review in a minute. All right. Yes, Sam, I want to talk about the Bill Cosby incident.
Ha.
Parents are mad as hell. What's up, Ronnie? What's up?
Yeah, I've been seeing some comments on some of the posts.
Crazy. I'm just literally getting home, man. Fucking Walmart was pissing me off.
You good over there, bro?
Who, me? Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just fixing my hair, man. Try say he's coming in now.
Right.
So, Cruz, doing good, Q.
Oh, oh.
Just watching another YouTuber. You know. Yo,
Yo, what up?
what's good, Try?
Game
Okay,
was good.
okay.
The commission
Well,
is up in here.
just
What
gotta
up?
make sure we're not too explicit talking about this album.
Yo,
Shit.
Cruz was good. Sam, Ronnie, Q, what up?
Uh, Burrow, Burrow.
Salute, salute.
Where he at?
Houston, Texas in the house.
Man, I ain't been on a live with Try in probably about a month.
I've been busy.
Reg, how you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Just getting home and shit. How you doing, Try?
Oh, damn.
Chilling, man. What up? Bump was good. Salute. Commission.
Glad he
Yeah.
connecting.
Scarface.
Shorty. On.
We put the album cover.
Can you hear us? Dane, you hear us?
Can you hear us, Dane?
Yeah, there
Okay.
you go.
What up? What it is, bro? What's good?
Good, it's good. Yeah, I'm ready to start whenever y'all are.
Let's go.
All right.
Got Burrow.
It's good. You too. How's everyone doing this lovely Wednesday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
Got a special guest with me, Mr. Dame himself. I'm gonna let you tell the people where you come from, Dame and stuff. Oh, his mic is muted.
Your mic is muted, Dane. Nah, I can't hear him.
Hey, yo, your mic is muted.
Your mic is muted. Yeah. Okay.
Good
Can you
now?
hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just I was just
Yes,
telling
it
you.
must be my connection.
You said what?
Must be my connection. But let's rock.
Oh,
So let's see what we do.
I was just gonna let you tell the people where you coming from, what podcast you from, and shit.
No doubt, man. Yeah, DMR, man. I'm from Back to the Lab on IG. We celebrate classic hip hop albums and legendary MCs. from the east to the west, down south, man. A little bit of everything. Some of the shit that I grew up on. I like to salute these artists, man. Salute these groups. Not wait too late to give them their flowers. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm out of H Town, Houston, Texas. You know, I got love for all the regions, man, and all the sounds and everything, man. So yeah, big hip hop head. It's a pleasure to be chopping it up with y'all, man. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. We fan, bro. Like I told Reg we got to get Dame on here because, he know his shit. We all love hip hop from all regions, and it's only right.
Most definitely.
Yeah, try, but you like the wizard. You know what I'm saying? I go to you for some shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a wizard.
But
I'm not a wizard.
coming from somebody like you, I respect that. I appreciate that you feel like I know my shit. I appreciate that, friend.
Oh yeah, for
I've been
sure.
in this
Like
game for
we
a
all
minute.
do. We everybody in the collective, from Lissy to Satellite Bump, everybody. It's a great camaraderie. I'm happy to be a part of it, and everybody know their shit. So that's what it's about at the end of the day for me.
Most no
Right.
doubt about it.
Been a pleasure chopping it up with you, man. And Reg, this our first time kicking it, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it, brother.
Trust me, you're gonna have fun tonight. Trust me. All right.
That's what's
So
up,
the
man.
so the album we are going to talk about is Scarface's his fifth studio album, The Last of the Dying Breed. I don't have the CD case. I just got the CD for it, but that's the cover right there with the little fetus right there and shit. This was released on October 3rd, 2000 on Rap a Lot under Version Records. Two singles that was released are Look Me in My Eyes and It Ain't Part 2. Producers include Scarface, N.O. Joe, Mr. Lee, Eric Sermon, Mike Dean, Swift, and Tone Capone. And guest appearances include UGK, J.O. Felony, Dog Pound, Jay Z, Nino Storm, Too Short, Devin Dude, Redman, and Young Noble. All right. Now, Dane, we already talked about how we got into Scarface, but I want to know how you got into Scarface yourself, or what memory you have.
The first time I heard Scarface was the song Scarface from the Grip It on the Other Level, the Ghetto Boys album. I think that was the second album. And that was when the group members sort of changed up a little bit from Ready Red, Bushwick, Johnny C, and Jukebox. It changed up. Johnny C and Jukebox was replaced by Willie D and Scarface. And that song Scarface, I started small time dope game, cocaine, pushing rocks on the block. I'm never broke, man. That's when I first got hit with Scarface, man, and just that vivid, story, that he was telling, draw me into, his sound and what he was coming with, man, and yeah, and to join the Ghetto Boys when I was already fucking with the Ghetto Boys from the Making Trouble album, the debut. I was already like a fan of the sound. They was from my hood, you know. It just worked out, as far as with what I preferred. It was that hard, grimy sound. Still had that. It still had like a boom bap kind of sound when they first came out, because they was trying to compete with how the East Coast music was coming off. They were trying to get some play in the East Coast, so a lot of the music kind of came off like that. But yeah, he really stuck with me, man. Once I heard that Scarface track, and it was good that he had became part of the group, even though he wasn't from Fifth Ward. He had still got love, what I'm saying, from the hood because he was affiliated with the GB. So,
Like
Worked out good for me, man. You know, he ended up being my favorite MC. You know, out of everybody in the game. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say he the
That,
goat, but definitely my favorite MC, man, for sure.
yeah, no doubt about it, bro. This niggas in my top 10 MCs, one of the most consistent discographies in hip hop, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah,
Facts, definitely.
I mean, yeah, I'm not just counting the solo shit. I'm also counting Ghetto Boy shit too, because the Ghetto Boy first, well, I'm not gonna say, well, the first couple albums will be a main lineup: Scarface, Willie D, Bushwood. We Can't Be Stopped, Grip It. Even the stuff titled Ghetto Boy is just fucking phenomenal. Um, Before we go, what did you think of the Till Death Do Us Part album from '93 with Big Mike?
that was a good album, man. You know, Willie D had left the group. It was sort of kind of like a little tension there. And to bring in Big Mike, you know, we remember Big Mike from the Convicts,
Yes.
him and 3-2, you know, a long time ago. So we were already fond of Big Mike. He was, you know, he was in the circle. So, you know, it wasn't like a total newcomer, but it did shock us. But that really was a good ass album. What's that, 93?
Yeah.
Fifth Ward Chronicle on the cover. Yeah. You know, it took my hood nationwide, you know what I'm saying? So that was a dope ass album. I did, you know, Crooked Officer, No Nuts, No Glory. You
Dope.
know, Bring It On was what we first heard. Fifth Ward Boys, my favorite group. You know, I know tried though. I talk about those niggas all the time. But yeah, you know, that's why I first heard Fifth Ward Boys. That's why I first heard Devin the Dude on that Till Death Do Us Part album. So yeah, that's a classic album.
Yeah, very dope album indeed. All right. So after the last Scarface album we talked about was the Untouchable album, which that was an album that I admit grew on me more recently than it did in the back in the day, because when I first heard it, I felt like the production was a lot more cleaner compared to like the first three albums and shit. But now I definitely fuck with the album more now. And so fast forward to 1998, he dropped the compilation album, My Homies Part One. Very, very, very dope compilation. Well, not like it's like collab like with a lot of features, with like people like Master P, Devin the Dude, um, the late great Tupac, Do or Die, and so on and
Yeah,
so on. Um, that album, definitely going to talk about that album one day and shit like that.
We actually that's the double CD.
Yeah,
We actually did
yeah,
that
yeah.
on the other podcast like years ago, but we could do it again. I don't know if Reg was a part of that episode though.
no, I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been years since I've actually peeped that My Homies Part One album and shit like that. So yeah. Um. So after that, he was in the midst of being the president of Def Jam South. Now you guys should know about Def Jam South. That was Def Jam pretty much getting into that Southern hip hop, because by like the late '90s, you had the Cash Monies and the No Limits popping and stuff like that too. Of course, Disturbing the Peace was, of course, starting out around that time too. And of course, we can't forget the Dungeon Family, Outkast, Goody Mob, and so on and so on. So pretty much Scarface really wanted to use his blueprint to bring that southern flavor to Def Jam, as well as to like strengthen their commercial standing. And even in like the late '90s, Def Jam, they had J X and Ja Rule, who pretty much saved Def Jam, if you want to really be technical and shit like that. That's another story for a different day. And also around that time too, he really did not. He refused to promote his album and stuff like that, because he was having some negotiations with Rap a Lot. And this was crazy too, because I read this years ago that Scarface and wanted more money from Jay Prince and stuff like that too around this time. Yeah, Ronnie, just in the piece that was ludicrous and shit. So, um, because he tried to negotiate with Jay Prince for some more money, and Jay Prince, y'all know how Jay Prince is and shit. He, of course, he pretty much gave into Scarface's demands and whatnot too, and so that's when the whole Def Jam South came about too. When it came to his contract, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've read that, but it was a while back when I was reading about this album. And so that's when this whole fucking album came about in 2000 and shit, you know what I'm saying? And commercially, it's like with this album, a lot of Scarface fans pretty much don't talk about this album a lot compared to the
Yeah.
previous albums, and even with the fix, which the fix is going to come next month sometime. I don't know when, but stay tuned. Damn, you can join us too on that one if you want.
That,
So
no doubt. It'd be a pleasure.
yeah, and I have not heard this album since I think the first time I heard it was way back in 2013. So this is definitely interesting. Looking at the credits, I see a lot of different producers. Like you have N.O. Joe, but never expected Eric Sermon and Scarface to do some shit together, which but at the same time it don't surprise me too because Eric Sermon was in the South around that time too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it has like a lot more guest appearances than like the Untouchable album and shit too. So 15 tracks. Let's get this shit started. Oh, and
All
then
right.
just to let you know, the way we review and shit like that, we each say what we think about the track one by one by one. And we jump to the next track and shit like that too. You can talk about like certain memories you have of the track. You can talk about anything that relates to the track too and shit.
All right. I'm gonna just kind of follow y'all lead, man. I'm new here, man. So I'm gonna
Alright,
rock with.
alright. Well, the intro is pretty much like it says November 9th, 1970, which is of course his birthday. Just pretty much him being born. It's like pretty much a segue to the next track in a way and stuff like that. So I don't really have that much to say about the intro and shit.
I think the intro was nice. Like you have like a baby crying and like you hear like a woman giving birth in a hospital, and it speaks to like the album cover. Last of a Dying Breed, which he was at that time, and I think the intro definitely fit the album cover and the whole theme of the album. Cause to me, he's always been like in a class by itself lyrically and
Yeah.
just solo wise, like had like definitely carved a niche for itself solo wise after leaving the Ghetto Boys. So I definitely think it fits the album.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you on that one. Try that intro kind of like led to that first song because it sounds as if there was like some complications or something going on in the birth. You know what I'm saying? The woman was screaming and kind of like in pain. It sounded like, man. And so we could get to that first track, "Last of a Dying Breed," and he was kind of talking about complications and everything, and feeling like the demons was already surrounding him while he was in the womb and everything. The intro, that's kind of it's kind of like theatrical, like a movie getting ready to pop out. Not quite maybe a Lifetime movie, but
Mm-hmm.
something major. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Alright, which leads us to the next track, which is the title track, Last of the Dying Breed. A very dope track in my opinion. Just another example of Scarface's storytelling. He just describes his journey being born and just the pain his mom had to go through carrying him and whatnot too. But at the end of the day, he's still thankful for just being born and for his mom for giving him life and shit like that, and just never turning turning her back on him and shit like that too. Very very dope joint, very personal shit in my opinion. Um, the beat definitely had that. You can tell with the production on this album, it definitely had like a more of like a 2000 feel to it and shit like that too. Which I'm gonna talk more about like once I finish reviewing the album and shit too. So very nice way to start off the album.
Yeah, definitely. Love the track. Um, Real haunting melody, nice beat, nice pianos on it, and like again, like it, like from the intro into the track, like it goes into like him speaking about being born and being in his mother's womb. And when you got him saying, I guess I must have been the reason that mama couldn't sleep, interrupted her peace, but it was time for me to eat. And since carrying me, because all of that swelling in her feet, just know that I'm thankful. I let you feel it when my heart beat. And again, I fit. It goes with the theme of the album, and lyrically he was great. Like he painted a picture of him being like a fetus within his mom's womb and coming out, and I thought it was good.
It's on you, Dan.
You know, that I like that. Like you said, it did kind of have a haunting kind of sound to it. But he always been a little. How can I put this, man? Like he has some mental issues, man. You know, Scarface grew up. Like I think at one time he lived in an asylum for a little bit. You know, like he was a mental patient for a while. So
Yeah.
this ain't no cap right here, man. Like I think that disturbance, that mental disturbance, like that's really in there somewhere. And you can hear that in some of the other music, man. Mind of a Lunatic. Uh, what's that other joint, man? My Mind Playing Tricks on Me. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of uh, mental health references in his music, man. So
Yeah,
this kind of tells the story of kind of where it all roots from. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like this one, man. Slept on,
right.
but I think this really tells his story more than some of the other albums.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Which leads us to the next track, "Look in My Eye," which is pretty much like a sequel to his previous track, if you ask me. Just Scarface unleashing his stress, his mental anguish on this track right here. Very solid joint. Love that beat by Eno Joy and Mr. Lee and stuff like that. Very, very
yeah.
dope, dope joint.
Yeah, I thought it was dope. Really eerie melody on the track. Nice beat. You got Scarface saying, "Can you see my future and what lies down the line? Is it just my chest or is it just my time?" And I always like Scarface because he always, within his lyrics, dealt with like talking about death, but he did it in like a poetic way. You know what I'm saying? Like Damon said, like he had like some mental issues going on, but he did it in a way where it was dope for him. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I feel like he was always lyrical coming from Texas, and I like the way that he put his words together. You know?
hmm And in that song, man, he had kind of tapped on some of that FBI stuff that was going on with him and Jay Prince and everything. No, I don't have too much info on that. I read some of it in the PC book, but it's just too many details to it, man. But he talked about it a lot with the dude Schumacher, and the DEA and everything, man, the FBI watching him and all that good stuff. So, like I say, he get a little deep on this joint right here, man. He get into all of that stuff, man. Them indictments, uh, all of the undercovers and everything that was following them and trying to set them up. All this up in this joint right here, man. So this is definitely one that we have to go back in and kind of dissect line for line, man, because he got some hidden stuff up in here,
Yeah.
good ones. What you
Yes,
think,
sir.
Reg?
Yes, I'm right here. You said what? We
I
got
said, what you
Dan.
what you think about somebody going back
I can hear
keeping
you
this one, you know,
breaking.
line for line.
You said what?
You can't hit.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was just saying, like somebody really diving deep into the lyrics, man, and people what he's saying about the setup stuff with the DEA and FBI that they were going through back then, you know, with him and Jay Prince and you know all them guys when they were trying, you know, they were trying to set them up and everything, man, planting drugs on them, and you
Oh
know
shit.
maybe even yeah, it's deep up in here, bro. Like you know, it's even in the Pimp C book too, man. I don't know if you've seen that joint, man. The sweet James Jones, sweet James Jones.
Nah, I ain't never heard about that shit.
They talk about where the camera at? Yeah, they talk about all of the stuff that he talking about in this song, in this book right here.
Oh shit.
That Schumacher, DEA, FBI, just peep it. You see what I'm talking about?
I bet.
That's why I say he get a little personal. It's not just like the hood joints, you know, like the Let Me Roll and you know the Mary Jane, you know, from some of them other albums. You know, like I think he got real personal on this one right here, man.
Yeah, cause I was really trying to like research a lot about this album, but like the research I came up with was like very scarce and compared like to other albums and shit. So I really didn't know all that shit was happening behind the scenes and stuff. So
Yeah, he exposed a lot of government, you know, people down here, man. You know, like people in the law enforcement and stuff, man. So it's just something to go back and do a little bit more homework on a little bit later on, and you'll see what I mean. For me,
I bet.
it's crazy.
Got you. All right. Now we in the next track. It ain't part two. You know, this has Eric Silver and Eno Joe on the beat. But you can tell this is like vintage Eric Silver right here. Very, very
Yeah,
dope, very dope song. He's pretty much just talking about how he feels like materialistic shit don't really phase him and whatnot, and how he really does not really care about like the jewelry and the fancy cars and everything like that. He just doing it just for the passion of music and shit. So that's what I got.
Yeah, I remember seeing this video on Rap City all the time, and Eric Sermon has always been one of my favorite producers from EPMD and Def Squad, and I thought it was dope to see him like collaborate with a down south artist at that time when a lot of New York artists wasn't doing that, and he did a dope ass track for Scarface, and Scarface sounded great on the track, and
yeah,
it's a that track, you could give that track to anybody. Redman, Keith Murray, he gave it to Scarface. Scarface killed it. I like the chorus. Money, clothes ain't shit to me. Brand new hoes ain't shit to me. I love that. It's just a great track, and like I said, like it was great to see Eric Sermon collaborate with Scarface.
yeah. I've been fucking with Eric Sermon since you know you got to chill.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying. So to have you know him contribute, you know, back to that shit right there. You know, I couldn't wait to hear when I heard, you know, he got an Eric Sermon track. I was, oh, what's that gonna sound like? You know what I'm saying? And then for it to be the part two, I think the part one of this song. I don't think Eric Sermon did the part one, but it
Yeah, I
came
don't
from the
think so.
Ghetto Boys album.
Right.
You know, but to do this one, I was like, yo, that shit crazy. So yeah, this was a cool collab right here, man. And yeah, like you were saying, he was basically putting it out there, like you know, all the jewelry and the clothes and everything and the cars and all that shit that everybody doing that ain't shit to him because you know shit he was around all the Ferraris and the Rolls Royces and I'm pretty sure he had a few of you know all them luxury cars, man. But you can you know a real head can tell in it for that. You know everybody knew it. You know and even though he could cap a little bit in his rhymes, but from the jump, Face always been a pit bull in this game. You know, he coming, wrecking. He ain't ever been no flashy, pretty boy type of MC, man. That's why I always say, man, he's admired by some of the hardest artists that we done seen come, through Ice T, Coogee Rap, KRS One, Chuck D. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he could do all that flashy shit, but it ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Just like he said, he'd rather keep it hood, keep it street for the real, for the real hip hop heads, man. Catch that like that hard shit. So I felt this one right here.
Yeah, definitely very well said, bro. Definitely very well said. Track number five. They Down with Us featuring UGK. Yo, this is like one of my favorite tracks off this album. This is like one of the most main tracks I knew from this album too. They flipped the Boogie Down Productions. I'm still number one and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Interesting track though because Pimp C, he actually threw a shot at Master P on this track. You know, with the lines, this rap a lot mafia life super tight. Skip Daddy ain't said much. I started smoking rocks. We got game on loud. Big Q ain't pop. Smoke private stock. Got Blaze chopped. Cause you know around that time people were saying how Master P was trying to sound like Pop on the record and stuff like that too. And so UGK also were trying to work with Master P. However, a lot of like business renegotiation didn't really fall through. So I think they felt a little salty about that too, from what I looked up. For me personally, I felt like Scarface stole the show. UGK, they did their thing too, but at the same time, it was just Scarface stole the show on that one, you know. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't State Property do a version of this track too, Trey?
I might have been on a mixtape, not on the album.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I thought it was a great track, and he sampled it on Careless One track. That was a classic in itself when Careless One did it back then. And again, like he demolished the track. I like the lines he says. Too many rap niggas taking rap for a joke. They be up for 1 minute, the next flat broke. Rhyming about fly bitches, Daytona, 100 spokes, pockets want to reflect, but now bumming smokes. And he just spitting the real as as he sees it, and I like the fact that in the chorus, like, he shouted out a lot of the southern artists, a lot of the West Coast artists like E40 and Be Legit and MJG. So yeah, it's one of my favorites on here.
Him and Slim have to tell the story, man. Slim, Reg, I think you might know Slim from the station, but I think Lil J was trying to, well, Jay Prince was trying to get Master P on the album, and Scarface went into a rant like, I don't need Master P on my motherfucking album. Like, went off, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this was around the same time that Pimp C and Master P had a little issue too. So I know Pimp probably didn't shoot no slug on this song, but it was some shit from another Pimp C album. I can't think of right now, but they had a little beef too, man. So if it was a shot at Master P up in here somewhere, it wasn't the first coming from people from this song right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Probably not on this track, but a little bit later on. But yeah, you gotta love P, man. Respect P, man. He had his run. You know what I'm saying? But that's part of the game. Everybody gotta go at the big dog, or go at somebody to kind of let cats know,
Right,
you know, they the king or whatever. But hey, it make good music though. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Right.
But I do like the fact that he showed a lot of love to a lot of cats, man. Black Rob, he said A Ball and MJG be legit. Lil Kiki, just a lot of people he gave love to on this song right here, man. Juice Crew, you know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it's a good look. I like this one. Old school vibe.
Yeah, most definitely. Next track we got is "Sorry for What." This
Oh, that
is
was a good one.
yeah, classic shit. This to me was his version of Jay Z's "Regrets," in my opinion. And like the reason why I say that is because of the fact that he was pretty much talking about how he went through all his bullshit in his life, mentally trying to like stay stable and shit like that too. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, he's just pretty much saying like he's not sorry for anything that he's done because it made him into the man that he is today. You know what I'm saying? So very, very, very dope joint in my opinion. One of my favorites from this album.
Yeah, really nice beat. Scarface saying, "Mama, if you look at me, this ain't what I used to be. Tomorrow I'll be somebody else, cause I ain't been me." And those lyrics right there, like real powerful, and you know, I thought it was a great track. And like I said, like he's always been a dope, lyricist and storyteller, and it's one of my favorites as well on this album.
Man, like I say, man, he got real personal on here, talking about his feelings and everything. Try, I know you keep the lyrics up and that, but he was like, uh, but my childhood was fucked up. Raised routed by a single mom. She told me my daddy didn't give a fuck. She ain't let him do his job, separate the family. I don't know my next of kin. These days is fucked up. What do you say? These days fucked up ways. Who the fuck are them? My daddy had three other kids. I ain't never seen them though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
this some shit right here, man, where he was kind of open. He was opening up in this song right here. And I like the sample in here too, man. That is there anybody out there? Yeah, that shit.
Yeah.
I wish they could have
I like
played
it.
that a little bit more throughout the song.
Right.
That shit was kind of dope. But yeah, man, some real personal lyrics up in this song right here. It was almost like he was in a shrink session or something.
Yeah.
Talking to a psychiatrist or something like that.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
no hook, straight bars. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every line meant something. Like every line hit home, especially if you kind of went through some shit like this. Family type stuff. He even mentioned part about them showing up whenever they needed money, but when he was fucked up, they was nowhere to be found. So definitely something somebody should go back and delve into a little bit deeper, man, and kind of feel what he's saying more. Because like I say, he really bearing his soul out here, man. It's a slept on album, man. And I feel like it's one of the most personal. You know what I'm saying? It's musically it's cold too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But lyrically, yeah, man, you got to feel him on this one.
Yes. Very, very, very dope shit right here in my opinion. Next track, OG's to me, featuring the
Yeah,
Dog Pound and J.O. Felony. Another very hot joint right here. Scarface showing for West Coast love with this one, in my opinion. Love that fucking beat too, man. Pretty much they were just on, some fucking braggadocio shit, just explaining what it means to be an OG and shit like that, in my opinion. Very, very dope joint. Like corrupt, corrupts that nigga and shit like that. That third verse he did, I love the line when he says, facing all you niggas, Scarface nigga, chase and race, replace and waste niggas, shake, crack, and broke, no mistake, nigga. Fuck 'em, stick 'em, stuck 'em, chase lace, nigga. Like, Very, very, very hot joint, man. Well, man, he was a problem back at that time and shit like that, in my opinion, man. This is when he dropped fucking Street as a Mother, which is very dope album.
His best album.
Way, way better than the Corruption album. So, yes, very hot album.
I love Corrupt. I always felt like he was one of the best out of the West. You know, he did his thing on his track. I actually like J.O. Felony's verse more. When he said, I
Oh
got
yeah,
heroin by the balloons, kaboom to mushrooms, and my 38 special done put bangers in their tombs. I thought J.O.
yeah.
Felony is another underrated lyricist, and he never really got the props that he deserved as well. So I thought his verse was dope on here, and everybody came correct. The track has like a G funk sound to it. And this is one of my favorite tracks on here. I definitely think it's
It give me 90s, around Death Row time. It give me those vibes. Uh, MC8 type shit, man.
mm-hmm.
My lines that I like was cocking I aim. I see you bitches jocking the name, bopping the fame, quicker nigga, dropping the pain, rocking the cane. Back a bitch, you blocking my lane. Trying to foul on a nigga cause you hot in the flame. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Face, boy.
Man, this
Face,
nigga was
man. You gotta give him his props, though.
for sure.
yes. Next thing you know, we
Uh,
got next thing you
but
know,
check
we
this out
got
though. Like you like try, you say J.O. Felony slept on, was
Yeah,
underrated. Facts. You right, man. But we can't leave out the fact that Corrupt ate this bitch up, and Daz definitely ate this bitch up too, man.
oh yeah, for sure.
yes, Daz is another one.
Hey, I'm talking
Definitely.
about Dog Pound definitely in my top five duos of all time, man. You know what I'm saying?
They great. They definitely
They
great.
ate this bitch.
Yeah, man, they all ate this shit. Very underrated track in my opinion, man. Next thing you know, we're gonna get the gangster shit. This was another track right here where it was like another braggadocio-ish kind of track, right? In my opinion, love that fucking beat. That bass line is so dark and so fucking booming, and at the same time too. I mean, very, very, very dope shit. Just niggas talking about, this nigga's talking about, don't do this gangster shit, unless you really about that life.
Right.
So yeah, very hot album, hot track.
Really grimy track. I love the beat, and Scarface saying it's war, so I suggest you call on your troops. Army fatigues ain't shit because y'all don't shoot, and again, like that speaks to the type of music that Scarface always bring that real shit, and having the listener, listening to this track and telling you like, yo, if you're not about this street shit and this gangster shit, then it's not for you. Don't do it. And I like the fact that he can bring it the way that he bring it lyrically, and it's a great track.
Uh, yeah, this was one. It's hot to me. I always did love Joe, whatever Joe produced, man. But it just didn't stick to me like some of the other ones, man. I definitely respected it. He was spitting.
Right.
This just wasn't one of my favorite ones, man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing with the lyric. I think if anything, it's probably the hook. I think the hook was just kind of simple. It didn't do the lyrics any justice, man. You know what I'm saying? But and I mean that respectfully, because
Right.
it's a good track. So I think the hook just didn't give me enough, on this one. But much respect though.
Yes, definitely respect the track. But yeah, I definitely respect your opinion on this track too. Um, next track, conspiracy theory. Now, Dan, I want to ask you a question. So
Yeah,
the shit with the FBI, he was talking about that on this song right here too, right?
yeah. And he got even deeper into it on this song. That
Okay.
first one, he kind of like he did touch on it quite a bit, but on this one, he is real deep,
I bet because yeah,
real deep on this one.
because when I first heard this, I was like, yo, he's going in on some shit right here. So I was like, okay, yeah, this is pretty much one of my favorite tracks off the album. You know, it's the storytelling track where like they mentioned, it's talking about the whole FBI situation that happened between him and Jay Prince, and Rap a Lot,
Yeah,
and stuff too. Very just because that second verse was so fucking cold. I love the line where he says, "I heard a rumor that this nigga got knocked. A few months passed and he was back on the lot. And shift the plot. I'll teach you niggas conspiracy theories. I spit this shit in code, and but I pray that you hear me." Like very hot joint. And then I love how it ended with like the short phone conversation and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Until it comes back to like the third verse where he said his other line where he was like, train them to do business in 20 years down the line. So I stand firm on we can't be stopped. I can solve our disagreements and I'm still down with rap a lot. Muddy your blocks trying to break apart what God made. Like his loyalty to rap a lot man was just impeccable and shit, you know what I'm saying? So pretty much a very dope solid joint. Conspiracy theory, one of the more underrated tracks off the album.
Hey, I just heard that Biz Markie passed away.
Oh my god.
oh man, come on, dog.
Yeah.
Rest in
I
peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Biz Markie, man. He's a legend. Um, I I don't even know what to say. It's like I grew up like I'm seeing all of my childhood legends like die before me. It's just crazy to even like say that. But rest in peace to Biz. The track was dope. I didn't like write anything about it, but like again like I thought it was like a great um type of storytelling track, and it was dope.
Wow, shit.
I don't even know what to say right now. God damn.
Yeah,
Biz. What? I'm sorry.
yeah, that's crazy, bro. Um, we still on the conspiracy theory, fam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This right here. Yeah, he get deep on here, but you gotta read some of this pimp shit because they get deep about it, man. They uh, reports and everything, man. I think they were given these reports to internal affairs about how these cops were trying to pull them over on dark streets, man, and these cops had reputations for like killing people, man, and getting off. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep in the song, but the story itself is even deeper, man. The conspiracy theory, fam. Yes, sir. It's a good one. This one deep right here.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely hear what you're saying about this one.
Yeah, like check. Like I swear, man, check it out if you can. It'd be probably better to check out a documentary or something like that, just to save yourself some time and reading. But yeah, man, you would see that they was after these cats. Like this was all around the same time. The whole Murder Inc. and Death Row, all that shit. This is all connected. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I mean, even though it took place in a course of a few years and everything, but all of this shit connected, man. And I know you
What's
remember all that Death Row shit.
Oh yeah.
when they
Yeah.
was trying to get when they was trying to get them boys on Rico and mob affiliated type stuff. Yeah, this is that, fam.
Yeah.
It's probably like the beginning of it. Cause
Wasn't
when they
the
start doing
FBI?
shit,
Oh,
go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
No, you
Wasn't
ain't
the
saying.
FBI also after Wu Tang too around this time?
I don't remember hearing about them being at the Wu Tang. Travis, you remember anything like that?
With Death Row.
Wu Tang.
Nah, the
Wu
FBI,
Tang.
fucking Wu Tang.
That, oh yeah, yeah, that happened. That was I want to say like when they first came out, like '93, and then like I heard it like over the years that they were investigating the Klan for like different criminal activity, like with different members. That was always a thing, but I don't think anybody like really took it seriously though. I mean, them niggas from the streets, they've done a lot of illegal stuff, so I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be surprised.
True. Anyway, where we at right now? Um, Watch Your Step. This track right here. This was okay. I didn't really like really anything on this track right here. Pretty solid joint, you know.
Yeah, this was dope.
Yeah,
Definitely like the beat for this and the keys on this, the bass line. We got Scarface saying, "I'm a different type of specimen, not known to man. I refuse to lose. I was born to win." Definitely a dope track. I thought Scarface killed it. Yeah,
yeah. The hook was nice on this one, fam.
yeah.
It took me. I would say, man, probably like early '90s type of vibe, man. Not late '80s, kind of like New York. Get the club rocking, let's get it
Right,
on, y'all. To the beat,
right.
y'all. Fuck a bitch, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the streets, dog. I did like that shit right there.
Dope.
This was a
Yeah,
dope one.
very dope. Next track, Get Out, featuring Jay Z and Nino Storm. Another solid joint right here.
Yeah,
Not my favorite Scarface and Jay Z collab. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all have to go to the Dynasty for that one, but this one was pretty good. To me, I just felt like that beat could have been a little bit better. I don't know if it was just me, but yeah, but it was a pretty solid joint. Jay Z. Y'all know how I feel. So yeah,
I love it. Dope beat. The dope bass line on it is again, like they told like a story. I like the back and forth of Mike play with Jane and Scarface, and them trading verses. Like it was a very short verses. I don't feel like Jay Z really got his verse off on this track. Like
yeah.
he played off of Scarface's verse, and then Scarface did the same with Jay. And I like the chorus when Jay saying, when the money get low and the hungriness show, niggas better get the fuck out the house. That was dope. And like the track ends off at with a clip from Scarface where Manolo shoots Frank, for Frank double crossing Tony when Tony got set up at the club and he got shot up or whatever. He got shot in his arm at the club or whatever. So I like the way that it ended off with the Scarface clip, and I think it's a dope collab. And they always did
Mm-hmm.
dope collabs in the past, like on the Dynasty and somehow some way on Blueprint 2. And I always liked the fact that they again, like Jay Z, another East Coast head that was showing love to the Southern artists when a lot of the artists up here wasn't doing that, and they made dope music. I always wanted them to do like a little album or EP or something together because I think they would have killed it.
Yeah, I definitely like the back and forth. I like the storytelling. Especially when it got something to do with street type shit, man. I always like them street tales, them dope dealer tales. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, the way they put it together, him flying out to New York and everything, and Face coming to pick him up in the cab, and
Right.
and I definitely like at the end where Face was, was Nita Mandy, let me up, it's Joey motherfucker, that part right there with the little accent. I like that part right there.
Yeah.
But I think this album showed that he can collab with the East, he can collab with the West, and what I'm saying the shit would really nothing would come off the same, and nothing would come off like it was being forced. I
Right.
think some of this shit was kind of effortlessly, you know what I'm saying? I kind of agree with what you were saying, Red. I think you said that you feel like Hov didn't get his verse off real good,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Hmm.
I do respect the back and forth, man. It kind of gave me a Styles and Jada kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I
How
agree.
they,
Yeah.
how they would go back and forth a lot. So yeah,
Right.
it was dope, man. The storytelling, you know what I'm saying? Two legends on one track. You know what I'm saying? It's Mr. Lee and Eno Joe. And I don't think Hove was. This was 21 years ago. Hove. This is 2000, right?
Right.
So it ain't the Hove that we know yet. This was 2000 Hove.
Right.
So I think now going back listening to it, you'd expect to hear Hove snap a little bit more because of, who he is now. But I think he was coming into his persona. You know what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
2000, I don't think he had got all the way in his bag yet.
Right.
That's probably why it seems like he didn't really just let his nuts hang that much on here because he wasn't King Hove yet. You know what I'm saying? He was still Jigger. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Hmm.
I think I love Jay Z. I think because people look at him like he's King Hove now, I do feel like he's gotten lazy when it comes to um, lyrics and being aggressive, like attacking. Cause he like we know Hove. Like Hove destroyed tracks, any track that he was on. I don't feel like he's in his bag like that anymore. I just feel like he put something out there and people eat it up because of his stature now.
Yeah.
But like he was in his bag on this track. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I think it's certain it's only a few artists that can bring that back out of him, like a Scarface or a Jadakiss. Somebody like a Nas. I don't feel like he's been I don't feel like he's been challenged. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like whatever to him at this point because he's doing so many other things. But we know like the '90s Hove, the early 2000s Hove, he was definitely in his bag, and I miss that part of him right now.
Okay. So you think at this point, 2000, October 2000, you think he was in his bag and he should have shined a
Yes,
little bit more on here, or you
yes.
feel like
I
he
mean, I
gave
mean,
it
yeah,
what he
because
was
like
supposed to?
like two, yeah, because like 2000. This is before the Blueprint. This is this is we talking Dynasty album, and that was a highly praised album. But I like now where he's at. He's like on the throne, so to speak. He's on Mount Rushmore. It's only certain artists to me now in 2021 that can bring that '90s Hove out of him. Maybe like a Benny the Butcher or a Conway. There's very few artists because he hasn't done. I haven't heard '90s Hove in a long, long time. Like we hear Hove, but it's not the 2021 Hove
Uh,
now is not the same as the 2000 Hove or 97, 98 Hove.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Try on that one. Because
okay.
it's like at the stage of where Jay Z is at in his life now, people he probably feels like people will not want to hear that, or he probably feel like he said what he had to say with that one too. So
Right. That's another thing. I do believe that. I do believe that because I felt like when we discussed American Gangster, I felt like if he didn't call it American Gangster, that easily could have been a volume 4 in that whole In My Lifetime series because he talked about the same themes on that album like he did with the first three volumes, and maybe he's at the point where doing business deals with the NFL and stuff like that. He's kind of like over the whole in my lifetime and Blueprint series. So I just feel like he's giving us lackadaisical, so to speak, projects. I don't feel like he's still in his bag anymore.
But on this
Yeah,
track, this is 2000. This is right after Volume 3.
Right.
This is the Dynasty. This is around that time. We not even he hadn't even made it to like Blueprint hold. You know what I'm saying? One, not even Blueprint one yet. Uh, like I say, this is right after Volume 3 and the Dynasty.
Hmm.
And also to share the track with Face, you really can't flex a lot anyway because you going back and forth. So
Right.
I guess right when you find your speed, you got to pass the mic. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So I think it's almost kind of like with Hove. It's almost kind of like he went through a point where he was getting in his bag, and then like, as soon as he got in his bag, he got comfortable, and then it
Hmm.
was kind of like a fade off. You know what I'm saying? Not
That's
like
what.
drastically, but
Right.
just like a fade out, a gradual fade out. You know what I'm saying?
But and also I think he's smart to do like this type of song where it's like a back and forth with Scarface, because in the past, people have said that he's Jay Z has gotten overshadowed by a guest appearance like Eminem on Renegade. To me, Eminem had the better
Yeah,
verses on there. You know what I'm saying? Even like on the Posse cuts when he did Blackout on the DMX second album, he didn't have the best
yeah.
verse on there. You know what I'm saying?
whoa,
So
whoa.
so you feel like
He
he had the best
killed.
verse on
He had the
Blackout?
best verse on Blackout to
I don't
me.
think he had the best verse on Blackout.
Oh, whoa.
He had
Are
a
we?
dope
Do
verse.
we
I don't
really
think it
have to
was the
argue
best
with
though.
every? Who
The
you think is
illest
Nah,
line
what?
he said on there was "I'm a ghetto nigga making Will Smith numbers." That's the illest line he said on that in that whole thing.
Ah,
wasn't Jada Kiss on that song?
JD, yeah, JD Deluxe was on that.
Yeah, he ain't eat harder than Kiss did. And I don't remember the lyrics word for word right now, but I remember that song. But
If you who had the best verse on Reservoir Dogs? Was it Jay? I don't think it
hell
was Jay.
no.
I think it was actually Sheik and Beans that had the best verse on Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah,
I
Beans
beat
killed
yeah,
that.
beats.
This nigga Jay said, "I'm the meanest Don Dada to gun butter." Like, come
He
on.
did his thing.
You the
He did
top to
his
bust
thing.
a
He was
lot of
dope.
shots and none touch you. I'm the top that get excited when the gun touch. Come the fuck.
He
Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you.
he
Yeah.
did his thing on it. He was dope. I don't feel like he had the best verse on that though.
Okay, I respect your
They
opinion
say,
on that.
motherfuckers say Bun B killed him on Big Pimpin',
I feel like Pimp C killed them
Bun
both.
B.
with 8 bars.
Yes.
Yeah,
That cold ass shit. Man.
Yeah.
I heard that's why he had to come and put that last verse on the end of it, man. On that when they released it as a single,
Right.
he
Little
put that
little
up
trivia.
first again.
Uh, y'all know that Jay actually had to change his verse after he heard Shaheem's verse on Show Me Proof.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh
Uh,
shit. I didn't even think Shaheem had the best verse on that.
me neither.
That's crazy.
But I know they both did better than Kane.
I don't know about that, Rich.
Come on,
I
Kane
don't know
has
about
some
that.
weak ass lines on that one.
I think King did his thing on that, man.
He did, but that whole Daddy's Home album was just. I like it,
Hmm.
but some of his punchlines were so cheesy, it was
this nigga
embarrassing.
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And you know how much I love Kane and shit, but
Mhm.
this nigga, I be have to get at his shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But
That
yeah,
was
man.
somebody else who was washed well about.
Who would wash who? You said what?
Kane back in the day, Kane would wash anybody.
Oh yeah.
Damn near.
Oh,
For sure.
no denying. Well, I don't know about Rakim though, but I don't know.
That would be a good battle. King
But
and
then
Rakim.
his style just kind of faded off.
Yeah.
Oh no, nah. Definitely
No,
we wouldn't watch Rakim. Nah.
you got Rakim over King.
Sam said G Rap over Kane.
Oh man,
I
y'all
don't
really
know.
not gonna give Kane no love, huh?
I feel like both Kane and G Rap were both up to par with one another. I can't pick one over the other, in my opinion.
I got Rakim over G Rap.
Oh yeah, I got Rakim over G Rap any day. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think King could give
I
Rakim a
got
battle
Rakim
though.
over anybody.
Rakim over Karis One. I don't know.
Oh wow.
I got
Niggas ain't ready
Rakim
for
over.
you.
It's
Shit.
preference though, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
It's just preference.
I feel you. Yo, Dane, I have one question to ask you before we go to the next track. Where would you rank LL
Yo,
lyrically? You, you what I said? Or,
you know now, man. You know now, boys' delivery level has just elevated so much. You know, so LL is kind of, he top 10 for icon status. You know what I'm saying? And in his time, he did it well,
mm,
but he don't have the type of delivery that could still hang today right now. His delivery didn't age well. You know,
mm,
it's kind of basic when you think about it.
interesting.
It's still jam. He still rock, man. But you can't play his shit now and it hits you like a G rap or a rock him. You know, LL wasn't that lyrical he wasn't even as lyrical as Slick Rick. Slick Rick wasn't like no super duper MC. He just knew how to put them words together. He's a hell of a writer. You know, his punchlines was sick. You know, but LL never really had that. You know, just that wordplay like that. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making myself clear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just never came off like poetical, like a Rakim or a G Rap, or KRS. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't come off like that. It was LL came off like Run DMC, like she was just regular.
Yeah.
But in their time, they were the best at what they did.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think LL wrote some shit for Run too, if I'm not mistaken, too. So
I can hear that probably. Yeah, I can hear that. But like when you play they shit, like if you were to play LL or Run DMC shit now, you couldn't say that they were ahead of their time by the way they delivered their shit.
I agree.
But you listen to a Cool G rap or you listen to a Rakim, Big Daddy Kane or Slick Rick,
Hmm.
you know, they were ahead of their time with the way they delivered their flow. Multi-syllable rhymes, more unique words in they shit, you know what I'm saying? It came off a little bit better than LL, you know what I'm saying? But that's no disrespect to LL because I love the fuck out of LL. Hoes used to say I look like LL back in the day. I used to lick my lips a couple of times. You know,
You know what? Y'all need to stop tonight. Shit.
but
All
you
right,
know, big
I just
respect,
want. Hmm. Yeah, I just want to get your perspective on that.
no doubt.
All right, we got about three more tracks left. We're going to now get into In and Out featuring Too Short and Devin the Dude. I always love whenever Scarface and Devin the Dude do some shit together and stuff. Like Devin is pretty much one of the most underrated cats in the South, in my fucking opinion. Like
Yeah,
what Nate Dogg was to the West, he was what to the South. Like shit.
I like that. I never heard it put that way. I
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Appreciate it, man. You know, we got to give love to these legends, man. We got to.
Hmm.
So yeah, this track right here, I could have seen this track as a single too. You know, again, this is when Too Short, just like Eric Sermon, was in the South around that time too. Um, Definitely got to talk about the "Can't Stay Away" album one day too, man. I love that shit. Very very dope song right here. It kind of low key, the beat a little bit reminded me of Biggie's "The World Is Filled," ironically too, but with the southern twist to it. If that makes sense. So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it was a dope sector joint. I definitely enjoyed it. You got Scarface saying, "Knock that top back." Told her that I'll be right back, nigga. Where your wife at? Y'all niggas don't like that. I love his flow on that, and Devin the dude, like Reg said, he's always been underrated in my opinion. So, definitely a bang on this album.
Man, you know what this song remind me of right here, man? Let me see how I can put this, man. So you ever have one of them songs, man, where you be like, yo, I want to come out to this song. Like it had that vibe. And you be like, I gotta get with my chick on this song, you know, because it got that slow groove to it.
Yeah.
This one of those songs right here, man. Like even though it's a hip hop song, it's a rap song. You can play this with your chick even when you kind of in the mood. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope vibe, man. And Devin always got the the hooks for the chicks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the fuck faces. You know what I'm saying? You know, do what you want to do. You know, his hooks just kind of like appeal to everybody. It ain't like a hard hook or it ain't too soft. It's kind of like right in the middle, man. Where the dudes are feeling it and the chicks are feeling it. So, yeah, they talking. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with the chicks and everything. You know, fucking with the dude, wife, and all that shit. Yeah, yeah. Playful type shit, man. Yeah. Still coming with some bars up in here, man. Even though they talking about some freaky shit with the chicks, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, dope right here. So. Too Short definitely represented on here too, man. West Coast.
Most definitely. All right. Where we at? Next thing we know, we are at And Yo featuring Redman and Young Noble. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know how much I
Ooh.
love Redman. But as much as I like this track, I feel like it really did not fit the album in a weird way. And I don't know, like I said, with this whole album, it was like a lot of collaborations I never thought would happen. And in a weird way, I kind of felt like if Redman was on the It Ain't Part Two with Sermon, I could have saw him more on that one than this one.
Right.
But at the same time, too, I've always felt like this track was solid. I'm not the biggest Young Noble fan though, but he did his thing on that one. Pretty solid track, but probably my least favorite off the album.
I think Young Noble is one of the best members in the Outlaws still. I mean, it's basically only him and EDR still left. So, um, the Red Man thing, like again, like it was great to see different coasts collaborate, and that's how you build a relationship and artists, friendships and all that. And Scarface ended up being on Malpractice anyway. Like later on, I think he was on Real Niggas, the Real
Facts, I
Niggas track.
forgot about that.
Yeah, on Malpractice, and he was dope on that track too. And I thought it was a dope collab, with Scarface and Young Noble. You got Redman saying you died from your mom and pop. Don't sweat it. I got the next bitch rocking your birthday present. News at 11. Scarface and Doc from Bricks to South Park. We say fuck the cops. I mean he was in his bag. That's typical Redman with the bars and the beat was dope. I liked it.
Yeah, this one was a good one, man. I definitely like the collab, the Jersey and H Town collab, and It's a coincidence though. You got Young Noble on the track and Redman named Reggie Noble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
But
I just,
cool track, man. Nice collab. Nice, nice collab, man. The East Coast down south, it don't happen enough, man. So
Yeah.
we got to
Right.
get more of that, and that was back then.
Right.
It still don't happen enough, man.
it don't. 'Cause, the whole fucking East Coast and South Coast over here saying, oh, we don't get the South enough love, or South saying, oh, the East Coast taking so much from us and shit like that. It's stupid.
Yeah, but it's some cats that's on a certain wave right now, and their music sound like uh, southern music, so they would tend to collab a little bit more. You got cats like CJ who from New York, but I thought he was from down south. With the whole Whoopi song. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I thought he was from down south. Now I know he collabed or did some remixes with some people from down south. But they'll collab like that, but they won't collab like what we like. Nas and Face. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They ain't giving us them type of collabs no more, man. Hard shit. You know, Conway the Machine and Killer Kyleon or something like that.
Right.
You
Right.
know, that would be some sick shit. But not this gimmick, not these gimmick collaboration. I don't want that. I want fire artists, you know what I'm saying, from the East Coast connecting with some of these fire cats down here, man, and making some dope ass music for them. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to see that shit, man. Just the East. Well, really, all regions, man. Just do it, man. It's been a long time, man. Since we had a big posse cut with somebody from all regions on that bitch. Everybody eating Midwest, down south, West Coast, East Coast. It's in the works. Somebody gonna do it, man. Somebody gonna hear this shit, and they're gonna take my idea and they're gonna put uh they're gonna put the game and shit. Who I don't know, man. On a Prodigy track. I mean, a Havoc track. I mean, Recipe Prodigy. I don't know why I've been thinking about Prodigy today, man. I've been thinking about Mob Deep today, man, for some reason, man. But yeah, like who knows what kind of collaborations might come up, in the near future, man. But for right now, they ain't giving us a lot of what we like.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. Shit. And the last track off this album was In My Time. In my opinion, my favorite track off this whole album, in my opinion. What I got from this track was the fact that how himself was just questioning death and the afterlife and shit. And it's just the fact that how he has to realize at the end that time is essence. Like we don't know what's gonna happen. When we go outside, you don't know what's gonna happen when we do this. You just have to live life for what it is. You know what? I love the line where he says, "Tell my grandmother those words too. She knows I'm headed to a better place. I put a smile on my wife's face. God's grace, the evil spirit that surrounded me and passed me at any time it could have had me." Like, definitely a very solid joint, solid line. Yeah, definitely with that introspective vintage Scarface.
Yeah, it was dope, and had a dope beat, and Scarface saying, "I glanced at my baby boy, I can see this in his eyes. The little nigga was glad to be alive," and it was definitely a great way to end the album off. And like now that I'm starting to think about it, like this is what I Am and Nostradamus should have been. Like that whole theme of from birth to death. This is exactly what I Am and Nostradamus was supposed to be until it got leaked early and now decided to switch up that whole thing. But Scarface pulled it off in such a dope way, and it's definitely a great album for him.
And I don't know why this one was kind of like slept on, man. I'm talking about dope production, dope features,
Hmm.
uh, some fire ass lyrics, man. It just don't get the love, man. And it even had its it's phases that this album went through. You know, he came with the, you know, with the kind of like the mental health part,
Right.
and then he kind of got off into some gangster shit. You know, got into some fly shit for the ladies, and then kind of like ended it back on this note, like letting you know, the whole concept about the last of the dying breed thing in my life. You know, just I don't know if it was more of him saying uh, they're not gonna make him like me no more, or was it a synonym for retiring or something like that, like the last, you know, just like this the last of what you're gonna get. Like I don't know what his what the concept really was. I mean, we can say what we think it was, but he probably had a whole different meaning for it, man. But this song, just the way it went out, was kind of like re they say reiterated, kind of like with the way it came on. You know what I'm saying? The last of the dying breed, man. You know, him just getting his shit off about his life and everything, in the way he see it. So I definitely like it, man.
Yeah, most
It
definitely.
hit home, bro. Definitely a good album.
Yeah. All right. And that. Oh, I forgot. Okay, and we also have like the outro, which is like the November 9th, 2000. Again, pretty solid outro and shit like that. Just pretty much ends off the album with like a somber note.
Yeah, he's like thanking the fans for sticking with him for 13 years, and mentioning his name with the greats. That's what we do. We've been doing that forever anyway. Like mentioning Scarface with the great MCs
Yeah,
of all time. So it's definitely a great way to end the album off.
yeah. I mean, man, like I say, he's my favorite artist, man. My favorite solo artist. Um, and it's, I think that it's just because he's from Houston, fam. I think it just hit me, man. Like from the first time I heard him, he got a lot of different styles to him, man. He can give you some gangster shit. He can give you some conscious shit. You know, he can even go in his emotional bag, man, and kind of like give you some of his vulnerability and stuff too, man. So you got to respect all the layers, man, and appreciate all the layers of Scarface. You know what I'm saying? Dope artist, bro.
Definitely.
Sir. All right. So overall, this album, like to me, possibly the most underrated album in discography. This album is like one of his most personal to date, in my opinion. Just him, just question again like
Yeah,
the mental health, again mixing it with what was going on with rap a lot at the same time too. But at the same time, I felt like with this album was like a nice way he redefined himself in the 2000s. And this album to me was like a precursor to the Fix, and I'm gonna get into that when I talk about the Fix. Like, and
yeah,
it's July now, so yeah, so sometime this month and shit. So definitely a very, very, very solid album. I would give this 4 point. No, fuck it. I'm gonna give it a 5 mics. Fuck it. This is a definitely 5 mic album. Must have in your collection.
you're the fine
Album.
lighter.
Definitely one of his best albums. The production, the songs, the collabs, and um, you know, at this point, at least for New Yorkers, at this point, like we got caught on to Scarface solo stuff, and this was a dope album. Like a lot of, I had homeboys that were actually playing this album when it came out at that point. So definitely one of his best in my opinion.
Yeah, you know, I'm more of a untouchable guy. You know, Mary Jane. You know, money makes the world go round. You know, I love that Untouchable album, man.
Yeah,
It, in my opinion, I don't think he had a better album than that.
right.
But
Really?
with respect to like The Diary, and also what is it called? Emeritus. Like, bro, like he got some classic shit, man. But I would have to give this one right here like a 4 mic out of 5. He didn't give me the street classics. But if you really want to know who he was, I would recommend this album if you want to get deep into the mind of Scarface. This is definitely one of those albums. But like I say, it didn't give us the street bangers. It didn't give us the classics, the fuck faces. It didn't give us the Mary Jane. You know those type of hits, man. It was definitely a personal album. And if you want to know more about Face, this is one of them right here. So yeah, so I would say a 4 mic. Respectfully, man. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's my favorite artist. I ain't trying to take nothing from him, but it just wasn't as good as some of the other ones that I prefer.
Right.
I hear your opinion. You know, it's crazy. The same way you feel about this album, same way I kind of feel about Untouchable.
Untouchable just hit different to me, man. I don't know if it came at a different time in my life, and the songs just meant more to me. I don't know, man. But out of all the joints, that one right there give me the chills. I just love that album, man. The intro, the outro, the collab with Dr. Dre and Ice Cube at the end. I think even Daz was spitting on one of them tracks. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, I'm talking about. But Mary Jane has always been one of my favorite tracks. Shaq in the video. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why that
See,
album to me. I don't know. But I respect your opinion, Frank.
I respect your opinion too. To me, the thing with Mary Jane, like when I first heard it, it was just like a weird song. I would never expect Scarface to be and shit like that. And even the video too had like a glossier
Yeah,
cinematic feel. We know him rocking that little suit and shit. It was just like, because when I first got to Scarface, it was like Ghetto Boys, Diary, Mr. Scarface is Back. Very underrated album, I should say.
yeah.
Then Untouchable was like when I heard it, it was just like a lot more. I wasn't used to the cleaner, polished Scarface sound on that one.
And how can I forget? Smile was on that album. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
yeah, Smile. That's my favorite track off the album too.
Yeah.
you
So
got you got to give it to him.
yeah,
This was dope, fam.
yeah, definitely.
Appreciate
You
you
know,
being on here, man.
I was gonna stay on for like 10 minutes, talk bullshit. Give my thoughts on the Bill
Yeah.
Cosby shit.
Hey man, let's do it. R. Kelly piss right now, man. We like
That's
shit.
what I just said. The same. I literally just said the same thing. All right, so I'm gonna be really honest with what I'm about to say.
What's up?
I personally don't mind Bill Cosby being out, and here's why I say it because I recently made a Samson Bismarcky is alive.
He's alive.
Yo, ain't fucking
It,
with
I,
us, man.
in
We got
the
some
in the
good shit.
comments, I see people like putting up prayer hands and saying that he's dead. How is he alive?
Wow.
The fuck?
Mm. What did they? I
Yeah, they
don't know.
killing.
People are putting up he's dead already.
They're doing the same shit with the. Why are they always doing this with rappers?
Oh my lord.
I don't
I
know.
know, man.
They did the same shit with DMX. They did the same shit with Bushwick Bill. Like, who is really like reporting these fake ass news shit? I'm really,
I'm not gonna report nothing anymore.
bro. I'm not. I just posted a Biz Markie song off. Like, what?
Oh my god. Y'all
Yeah,
serious.
they don't do that shit, man. When cats like Heath Ledger and
Hell
you
no.
know
When them niggas
Damn
die, they
people.
die.
Yeah.
Shit.
There don't be no misunderstandings, no nothing, yo. They fucking gone.
Heck, even when
Right.
Prince died, they said
Oh yeah.
somebody at Prince's studio died. Like what? Then they say, correction, Prince died. Like, so you mean to tell me a motherfucker that looks like, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. I'm not going there tonight. But
Is the
let
internet?
me get back to what I'm saying. I don't want to rough no fan bases and shit. But yeah,
Yeah.
personally, I feel like this: if Harvey Weinstein, if Harvey Weinstein and Kevin Spacey can get a slap on the wrist, I feel like Bill can too. And it's the fact that Pennsylvania made this like little technicality or whatever, or a deal with the DA, which I feel like personally, they're not really being clear what is really going on with that shit right there. And then you haven't, and what really got my attention with this was I was on Twitter. You know, I like to go on Twitter sometimes just to watch politics, to watch white people get mad at this stupid shit. But um, this
Mhm.
lady said, so Britney Spears is fighting for her quartership or whatever they call it, but a rapist is free. America is justice. Wow. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like,
It ain't the same thing.
he said, what?
It's not the same thing.
It is really not the same thing. And I felt like she was trying to reach with that statement because you're comparing, and this is the thing right here with black men in power. And shit, you know, I know a lot of people are really trying to say how, oh, but this is because of the whole him doing the whole pound cake speech back in 2004. This is their way of getting at him and shit like that. Like niggas reaching for that shit too. I feel like niggas just personally reaching for that shit. Like the fact this is the way for them to degrade a black man pretty much for the shit that he does for the fucking media and shit like that. Like this was a guy that made more black people go to college. This was a guy that was making more black people, you know, become doctors and lawyers and shit like that. And it's crazy too. It's crazy too because of the fact that, you know, when the whole Hannibal Buress thing started coming out and shit like that, you know, niggas weren't really talking about that. Let's be real, niggas weren't really talking about until the whole Hannibal Buress thing came out. Am I wrong? I mean, and now people are over here saying, "Oh, there's no justice, no peace." Well, I'm not gonna lie. That's how we felt for years and shit like that. But at the same time, too, if he did do it or shit like that, I feel like he should be placed in house arrest. I'm just saying.
Right. I mean, he's an
That's saying
old.
I'm just saying if he did do it.
I mean, I feel like he's too old at this point to be in locked up in a jumpsuit with real murderers and killers and child molesters. And like, if anything, just let him be at home with his family and live out his golden years. I don't see why he needs to be in. I mean, at his age, I mean, I can see if he was younger, but how old is Bill Cosby? Like 80 years old?
I think it's like
Yeah.
81, 82.
You
I'm
know what I'm
not too
saying?
sure.
It's like, does he really need to be in general population with the rest of the bunch? You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave him. He's already publicly been humiliated. So I don't see nobody running to him to do any shows or anything. So just let him like live out his last remaining years at home with his family.
But look at the shit he was doing. Look at this shit. Like he was having his somewhat comeback. You know, he was in the middle of trying to the whole trying to buy NBC. You know, having his whole stand up special and shit like that. It took one slip up, one slight slip up. All that shit was gone within seconds.
I
People,
don't think he was gonna buy NBC. They're not gonna let him buy NBC. A black man buy
nah,
a network. I didn't see that coming anyway. You know what I'm
nah.
saying? So it's like, look, he did shit for all these decades, and these women now decide to come out. Why did they wait so long to come out with all these allegations?
And
Some
mind you,
big man
people,
bitches too. I don't know if that was a dude or I don't know, bro. But that main chick that
Yeah.
was testifying against him or whatever, I
Right.
don't know if that's a man or a woman, friend. But what was that?
and mind you, people forget he was extorted. He was almost extorted back in '97.
Right.
Y'all remember when that girl said that? Oh, she wasn't a legitimate daughter from him and shit like that.
Right. I remember
Huh?
that.
And that's when he admitted to like the time when he cheated on his wife a couple of times and stuff like that. Yeah,
Crazy.
It's crazy, bro. I wish him the best, man. Whatever type of setup they put him in, you know what? They just said he free, like he going home free, or is there any type of
He free.
program or something that he got to go through? He just free,
Yep.
he's just free,
He free.
just like that.
free, free.
Just like that.
Yo, and then
Shout out Bill Cosby, man.
it's funny too how everybody is coming down on Felicia Rashad and shit.
You know, you got some people that when you are accused of certain things, man, you know, it's people who feel like they know you and they know you ain't do that. It's kind of like one of them things, like I know he ain't do it. It's not him. I know he didn't do it. And see, you can't tell a person like that to go against you. You know what I'm saying? When they feel like they know your character, see, they down with you, man. I heard Rudy been down too throughout this whole thing.
You said
Rudy,
what?
Rudy, Keisha Knight Pulliam,
Yep.
he was supporting him as well.
Yeah.
But
I
Jello,
also oh, go ahead.
no, I say Jello dropped him, huh?
Right. And now everyone's saying free R. Kelly, free Suge Knight. I'm just like, well, I don't. Let's not go. That's not. I don't know about all that. I don't know.
I don't know about Kelly.
But yeah, I also want to give my thoughts on this whole Cardi B and Quavo. Well, not Quavo, Offset, whatever his name is. I made a comment. I made a comment on my YouTube earlier and shit. It was a heavy comment, and I got a lot of reaction from it. But I'm gonna read it to y'all right now.
All right.
I said, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I know everyone's all happy for this whole Cardi baby, but I don't honestly, I'm perfectly disgusted that they got to use a baby to benefit their careers and whatnot. When just months ago they were saying they're about to break up. Pretty much, I really cannot wait to hear the name of this baby. Just being perfectly honest and shit, because you
Yeah.
know everybody wants to be like Beyonce. Let's just be real.
Right.
When Beyonce announced that she was pregnant on the VMAs, have you noticed how everybody wanted to announce that they were pregnant at an award show or at an event and shit like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Adele do that shit one time or shit?
I can't remember.
Hmm. It kind of ring a bell. She did something publicly.
Shit.
I can't
Can't
remember.
remember.
But yeah, and then out of all the awards, you do it at the BET Awards, aka the proclamation of the year of the woman and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't like how these celebrities use a baby to benefit their career or just use it for clout, just to stay on the headlines and shit. Like, it's bad enough you name your baby Culture with a K, but still, like, can you imagine? Can you imagine just Culture just reading all the Twitter rants between these two and shit like that? Can you imagine the mental health that girl's gonna go through years later and shit?
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine the mental health some of these celebrity kids are gonna go through later? Like, y'all think this whole Gary Coleman shit is a fucking joke, like suing his parents and shit. Nah, that shit real. Like y'all get mad when these motherfuckers go on drugs and shit, but nah. Sometimes these motherfuckers supply them the drugs and shit, you know?
Okay.
Ronnie said who's ready for the Bobby Brown Keith sweat. Keith is gonna wipe Bobby.
I think Keith. I don't know. I love Bobby Brown. I think it's gonna be a great battle though. Like I love Keith Sweat. I'm really for Bobby, but I just think Keith Sweat's discography just too long for Bobby though.
Yeah.
You know.
I fuck with Bobby, man.
Yeah.
I know Keith got them bangers. But like I said in the chat though, Sky, I think
Yeah.
the showmanship that Bobby would bring to the stage would make motherfuckers, like
I would
rock with
hope.
him and shit.
I
Because
would hope
when
so.
it got to the point,
Mm,
when it got to the point where verses started to be like a performance instead of just a split screen and this guy playing some of his songs and the other guy playing, like now it's more of like a performance now. And it's like the person with the most energy gets the love in these verses. You know what I'm saying? And even though
right.
they tracks may not be better than their opponents, I think that performance angle that they bring to the verses now can kind of like sway you from one side or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't even got to be that hot, but if you energetic when you performing, I think people will be like, "Yo, he killed it." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we'll
But
see though, man.
the,
I'm
the
about it.
the thing with Bobby is he don't like to perform anymore. I've seen him live. He didn't even want to dance with New Edition. He was like trying not to do the
Saw
dance
that
steps.
clip.
Well,
I
maybe
saw
he
that
likes
clip,
the
and
crisis.
he walked off. I saw a clip where he
Yeah.
walked off stage.
Yes. He walked off. He was not trying to do the dance moves with them, and I'm like, this has been the ongoing problem with Bobby from the start. He wanted to be the leader of the group, and he don't want to do what everybody else is doing. He wants to be the captain, but not do what everybody else is doing. So it's still an ongoing issue with them and him. And it's like, okay, if you're doing the verses, people want to see entertainment. They want to be entertained. They want to see showmanship. He's not gonna dance. I'm telling you now, he is not going to dance. Okay, he's
But he,
gonna.
he might
He
be
might
hungry
like,
now.
huh?
He might be kind of hungry, like to where he more willing to put on the show. Those times when he was doing all that other shit, he probably was at a bad point in life, and probably just wasn't feeling it. But now he's probably,
He
feeling the vibes and everything and shit. He might come bring all that energy.
I mean, he might because the spotlight is on him. He's going against Keith, so I'm sure he's gonna want to prove that he's the king of R&B. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
don't know. Like you don't know what you're gonna get with Bobby, but you know what I'm saying. From me, like viewing him, he didn't want to perform. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
maybe he'll go out of his way one more time and be like, "Yo, let me put on the best show ever." I would love to see that
right.
because I think Bobby Brown was great. I grew up on New Edition and his music as a solo artist, as well as Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat is gonna bring it. I want Bobby to be where Keith Sweat is at mentally. Like, yo, I'm better than you. I can beat you with my two great albums, and prove to people that he still got it.
Yeah. If
He
Bobby
got them
mentions
bangers.
He do.
if Bobby mentions Whitney, Twitter's gonna have a riot. What time is it?
And you know
Bobby
what?
Brown is David Ruffin on New Edition.
That's an ace for Bobby. Bobby can play that. Bobby can play that song. We got something in common. The one he did with Whitney.
Yeah, that's on his album. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's a high joker right there.
yeah.
As long as he doesn't play the one from the Whitney album from 2002, I'm good. My loving and dreaming. No.
I don't know which one that.
Yeah, you good on there.
I
Don't.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you try to.
Oh man.
If I'm ever in a bad day, I'm just gonna talk about that Whitney album.
Really.
Ronnie has a question for Dame. He wants to know what's your favorite rap album of all time.
Favorite rap album of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, UGK riding dirty.
Ooh,
Nice. That's dope.
I've always been more of a super tight fan
That's
than
my
the
shit
real
right
G.
there.
Pimp C playing the organ. Oh my god.
Super Tight was nice.
It's super
It was more of Pimp C's productions on that. Riding Dirty, they brought in other producers on that one. He didn't have
tight.
full control, of the production on that one like he did on Super Tight. But it still made out to be a dope ass album. N.O. Joe did some songs on that. Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, I
Ride
gotta be
Dirty,
real
my
with you.
shit.
Yeah, well, I gotta be real with you. I like Riding Dirty, but when I first heard it, like when I was young, I was like, damn, these songs long as fuck, yo. But now I appreciate that shit more. I even like the Too Hard to Swallow album from
Yeah,
'98. That
Super,
shit was like,
Super Tight classic.
Favorite G rap album.
oh, that's for you, Dave.
456.
Ooh,
Same. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
yeah.
Money on my motherfucking brain.
Woo!
Yeah.
Fire.
Top and bottom
Yeah.
one brother.
And that fucking fast life,
Oh yeah.
ghetto
I got
nose.
the Buck Wild remix of Fast Life. That's my shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Coogee rap, bro. The dawn of the mob talk. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Hey yo, Dane,
Yo,
you ever heard you ever heard the Rated Triple X compilation?
nuh-uh. Rated
Ah,
Triple X.
it's like unreleased shit him and DJ Polo did in like the early '90s and shit. That shit's fire.
Does he listen to Tyler? I don't think Tyler is his type of rap. Q.
Rated Coogee rap and DJ Polo.
Yes, sir.
Tyler not my type of shit.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's not him. That's not for him.
You know, Tyler, uh, I'm gonna tell you who would never, who was that? Was it Ross? No, Skills. Skills said, name some rappers who will not be in your top 10.
Hmm.
And like, bro, Tyler is definitely one of them. And I know cats love Tyler,
Hmm.
but he just don't appeal to me.
Right.
Respect.
Uh, a lot of that stuff, man. Like Mad Lib and stuff like that. Like I know I like it, and I know how important it is to some of these heads. It just don't hit me though, man. Quasimodo, Yo Drew, stuff like that.
Right.
It just ain't got me yet.
And that's great.
You,
Like
you give me
I
some
don't you
Benny, some
don't.
Conway.
Mhm. Yeah, I was saying like that's great. Like don't feel like you need to force yourself to like it. Like we don't have to like everything. You know what I'm saying? I think people, and especially in this day and age now, people feel like, oh well, if you don't like something, something's wrong with you. No, I'm not. We're not gonna
Yeah,
like everything. I don't like Metallica, but I do the reviews because it's Reg is the homie.
I hate Green Day. So
Yeah, and he hates Green Day, and I don't look at him any different. Like, oh, well, you don't fuck with Green Day. I can't fuck with you. Like we don't do that. We don't
and
do that.
niggas really be doing that shit too.
They do, but it's like we don't do that. You know what I'm
Like get out
saying?
your feelings, bitch.
We
Like
don't have to like everything. So Dame don't have to like Tyler. That's great. You have to like what you like.
hey, I tell
You
you
know.
what, when y'all do Stone Temple Pilots core
Hmm.
review.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I want
What
to
you know
be
about Stone Temple, my brother?
Man.
I want to be
What you
in
know
on
about
that right
Stone
there.
Temple?
See,
Oh,
you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what DMR
woo!
know, man.
Right.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
That's dope.
Or some Oasis, some Soundgarden.
Oh, you
Right.
got. I'm good on the
Fuck
Oasis.
with me on some of them joints. Yeah,
Soundgarden, yeah. Oasis, yeah. I don't know, but I'll give it a shot because you
bro.
the dude.
Some of that shit just hit you at a certain time. It might not even be the best song, but it come along at a certain time in your life, and every time you hear it, you think about that time. But in your mind, you be like, man, that's a great song. No, that song came out at a great time in your life,
Right.
and you know, it just the two kind of like they remind you of each other. The time remind you of the song, or song remind you of the time. You know, either way it go. But yeah, you
Right.
know, that's what Oasis just came at a certain time.
That's dope.
Oh wow. Okay. I'm gonna stay on for like 5 more minutes
Yeah,
and shit. Q said, "Who your favorite singers?"
and singers
Yeah.
like R&B singers.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely Jill Scott, definitely Erica Badu.
Ooh.
Fuck with some D'Angelo. I fuck with some Music Soul Child,
Nice.
Mint Condition, Prince. I'm heavy on Prince, way
Okay.
more than I am on Mike.
Okay.
I fuck with Prince.
Yeah.
Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I like a little bit of all all that classic shit, man.
Hmm.
The legends, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you
Big
this. I
up.
got a confession,
Hmm.
and I've been trying, but I can't get into Cuddy.
Kid Cudi.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's an
I know
acquired
it's
taste. He's
kind of
not
like
for
Left
everybody.
Turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You good?
He's not for everybody.
yeah. I'm trying. You know, just like you said, try. You know, you tell somebody, "Oh man, I don't listen to MF Doom," and it's like,
Hmm.
"What?
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
They
What?
they
What?"
look at you funny, right?
Niggas be funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But if a motherfucker say, "I don't know nothing about 8 Ball and MJG," then I'll probably be
Hmm.
like, "What? You
Right.
crazy motherfucker?"
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But yeah, so but I think some artists, man, some people feel like you have to like them if you're a hip hop head.
Right.
This is what hip hop is. You have to like them, and I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't have to feel bad though.
And that's what I like about the commission, man, because the commission don't push certain songs and
Right.
certain waves on everybody. You know, we kind of like let everybody play in their vibe. You know,
Yeah.
we'll recommend some shit. You know, but we ain't gonna be like, yo, if you don't listen to this, you ain't no hip hop head. You know, we don't get down like that. So
Right.
shout out to the community, man.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, you
Shout
know
out
what
to
I'm
them.
saying?
And
And
shout out
and
to
like
everybody.
like the other day, you always like talking about Corday. I listened to Corday's new EP, and it's dope. He got Q-Tip on there. He got a joint with Young Thug. He got on his album. He got Raphael Sadiq and Quincy Jones. He's a dope rapper.
Oh yeah,
You know.
Hey, yo,
yeah,
try.
man. You know, and some of these cats just don't get talked about a lot, man. I think
Like, hey, yo, try. I'm about to text you something right now.
All right. Cool.
yeah, these dudes, man, they don't get talked about, bro. And I think that has something to do with the impact as well, man. You know,
Yeah.
you find that the ones with the household name, they get mentioned so much to where you start thinking that they dope, but
Right.
they really not. They just stay in the trending topics a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some of the like the hottest artists out there that don't get talked about a lot. They never end up being a household name. Therefore, they don't really give that impact. I like look at how high Schoolboy Q is. Schoolboy Q, nice. You know what I'm saying? But
Definitely. Definitely.
when you look at that camp over there, they're gonna talk about Kendrick the most. You know what I'm saying? Before they talk about
Facts.
anybody else over there, man. But Schoolboy Q, dope.
Oh yeah.
So I
Definitely.
love Schoolwork here.
J Rock, I like him too. They just asking Dame
But
everything. Do
no,
you
I'm not
like
taking
Earth,
that
Wind, and
away from
Fire?
Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Mm.
do I like what?
They're asking him everything. Do you like Patti LaBelle and Sam Cooke, Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Oh man, Patti LaBelle. Yeah, I definitely love Patti LaBelle. That was a dope verses with her and Gladys Knight too. And I ain't know Gladys Knight had them hits like that. Gladys Knight got them
Man.
goddamn hits, bro.
Oh yeah.
For real.
Uh, Definitely fuck with Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Yeah.
Isley Brothers,
Hmm.
uh, with the OJs,
Yeah, man.
bro. The list can go on and on, man.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I fuck with a lot of music, man. I
Yeah.
think that's what makes me such a big hip hop lover too, because of the samples and stuff. You
Right.
know, I hear these songs, and some of them I automatically know what they sample.
Same.
Because I've been
Same.
rocking way before rap became as mainstream as it is.
Right. Yeah.
You know what
It's
I'm
it's
saying?
always good to go back and listen to the classics and some of these
What else
songs.
they asking me on there, man?
They're asking everything under the sun. Uh, do you like Teddy Pendergrass? I seen somebody say that.
Get used to that thing.
Oh, Teddy P was nice, man. I like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. The group that he came from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
But man, hey, y'all follow me, man, on IG. We can chop it up a little bit. You know, search the hashtag Back to the Lab, man. You'll find me.
No doubt.
No doubt
Fucking
about it.
with my boy Try in the commission every day. You know what I'm saying? It's my brother right there, man.
No doubt, man. Appreciate it, man. Like salute to everybody in the commission. So
Salute. All right, y'all.
No doubt, man.
All right. So I'm about to end it off for the night. A few announcements I'm going to make. So, as we know, this Thursday is going to be the Coogee Rap Roots of Evil breakdown. Really cannot wait to talk about that album. I know Sam can't wait more than others. What else? What else? What else? As of now, the Primo breakdown is still going to be on Sunday,
okay.
Sunday at 11 o'clock. So, which reminds me, I gotta make my fucking list and shit. Um, Next week, I'm gonna ask Ash when she's free to do 20YO. It's gonna be next week. I was also thinking about doing the Busta Rhymes Genesis. It ain't safe no more.
Right.
But I don't know because I'm also leaning towards doing another album, which I keep under the wraps right now. It's good. It's a good album. It's a good album.
I was worried for a minute.
Yeah, it's a good album.
Okay.
But definitely stay tuned on a lot of stuff. And as for the Coogee Rap discography breakdown, I'm leaning on July 11th for that one.
All right.
So Yeah, July 11th. That should be a good date for it now. All right. And then, of course, the Metallica Mondays, we're still doing that, even though there's only two more albums, Sean, two more albums. All right. So, again, Dame, thank you so much for dropping by and
This is
doing
dope.
this review on us.
We gotta bring Dame back, yo. Like with
Oh, yeah.
some rock
When we
stuff.
do the fix, we're definitely going to bring you
Yeah,
back, man.
and the fix here.
Man, I'm down. As long as y'all let me know what we're doing and I get to, rock out to it a little bit in advance, yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm down.
cool.
All right. Try as usual. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make
Salute,
sure y'all
man.
subscribe and like this video, share it. Oh, I have to fix a copyright for the what the fuck video
Oh
me and
God.
Track did. So hopefully by this weekend it should be all straightened out by this weekend. So
All right.
I'm surprised none of y'all know what video it is so far, but I'm gonna keep that a surprise. So anyway, hope y'all have a good night. Peace.
Peace.